We've arrived in the Hunter Valley. We've got a very fun episode for you. I'm Madeleine and this is the Cellar Door Australia. Located just 2 hours north of Sydney and 45 minutes from Newcastle, the Hunter Valley is one of Australia's premier vineyard regions. But there's more than just wine on offer. So today, I'm taking a little break from the vineyards. Later on, I'll be visiting the Historic Arnotts Bakehouse in Moppa and sampling cheese at Binnorie Dairy. But first, it's time to take in the scenery from the best possible vantage point. It's balloon time. But we're about to get on the bus to get to the hot air balloon. It's going to be very exciting. It is an early start, but you know what they say? The early bird catches the beautiful sunrise? At the launch site, the balloons are inflated and the anticipation really kicks in. We're slowly rising. It's very peaceful. It's quite still. It's such an eerie contrast. One moment it's super quiet and then all of a sudden it's full blast with the heat. I feel like a very good Vegas magician just levitating slowly, but to no adoring crowd. Besides the fire, it's very, very peaceful up here. Turns out the cameraman is a little afraid of heights. We should have thought this through. Jesus. You're right, you're right. Don't look down. It's super dreamy up here. It's just like floating. I can't get a word in. Going higher now, we're above. I feel like it's pretty high now, but it still feels really good. And we weren't the only ones in the air. It's really magical up here. And there's even a love heart hot air balloon. Anyone's guess what's going on in there? It's very adding to the magic and the wonder. I saw a joey and a kangaroo. It was pretty special. It's very romantic with the magpie whistling in the background. And there's no front or back. It's just a smooth drift. I wasn't expecting it to be this smooth of a drift. It's kind of meditative, I would say. Just effortless. Well, I wonder if she said yes.
Look,
would have been a pretty awkward ride if it was a no. Getting a little bit of privacy up there. Yeah. I'm really enjoying myself up here. So nice. How neat. You never get to see this view. Right now, this is the highest we've ever been. Love Heart Balloon was beating us for a while, but now we've caught up. I feel good about that because, you know, couples shouldn't rule the world. I'm a bit concerned about Love Heart. They went very, very high and now they look like they're landing in not where they should be landing. Possibly a vineyard, some sort of crop, very close to a tree. So Love Heart is okay, they didn't land. They're still going strong. All good things must come to an end, so it's time to descend. So we're coming into land and it looks like we've got a pretty good field here.
Everybody landing.
But wait, what happened to the Love Heart? I just want to give you a Love Heart update. They've landed. They started just as two people, but they've landed as a joint entity. The balloon is coming down, everyone, but it's okay because we're already on the ground. I can't believe that was the only thing that was holding us in the air. It seems so gentle now. It did a good job, it was a good balloon. All the passengers are helping put the balloon away. They're doing a very good job. Okay, I feel bad. I better help.
Just stay on it and rest on it.
I'm not sure how much I'm helping. Balloon flights last approximately 1 hour and are followed by a delicious gourmet breakfast and champagne at the famous Peterson House Winery and Restaurant. I got my field mushrooms, my champagne, pretty set, and I'll see you after the break. I'm in the Hunter Valley, and next up, it's cheese time. So I'm visiting Benori Dairy, just a couple minutes outside of Pakolban. We're here in Benori Dairy, and I'm joined by the owner, Sally. How long have you been here?
We've been on this location for almost 4 years.
Oh, so you're both locals?
No, my husband originally from Victoria, and I'm a Sydney girl originally. So we both moved up here separately 2002. Our flagship cheese probably is our marinated feta. We have a gold medal from the Sydney Royal Easter Show, but many of the cheeses, you know, are popular.
Yeah, what's your favourite?
Marinated feta.
Well, I'd love to have a little look around, and maybe later I could try some of these cheeses.
Absolutely, I can take you through the range.
During the week, you can also catch a glimpse of the cheese being made in action. Let's have a little look behind the curtain, shall we? So what kind of magic is happening in there right now?
So at the moment, the guys are pulling out the brie out of the brine and then they're putting them on trays. So then there's aeration so that you're going to get the white mould quite even.
Nice.
And they're stacking.
Yeah.
And what happens is they go into an aging room, so a higher temperature sort of thing, and then every day or every couple of days they flip them. So therefore you get like the mouldy surface. And see how you've got the racks. If you ever look at a wheel of brie, you'll see like lines. So
that's where it's from?
Yeah.
And what other cheeses are being made in there?
So right over there underneath all those buckets is our cow feta being drained. So after it's been on the press for a few days, it will then get cut up and put in brine.
Oh, how lovely.
So that'll be the marinated cow's feta.
That is making my mouth water already. So it's good I'm out here not contaminating anything. Okay, it's time to run the cheese tasting gauntlet. Brace yourselves. Bring it on, Sally.
We start off with the goat cheeses and then we'll follow through with the cow cheeses.
Oh, nice.
So it's almost like a wine tasting. We try and take it like in the depth of the cheese and stuff like
lovely.
that. So the first one I'm going to give you today is our ashed goat's log. So it's just a fresh pressed curd style.
So creamy. Is that a popular one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's a little more popular though. This is what we call our bûche de chèvre. So it's that goat log that has the little bit of ash on it, and then we mould it up like a brie.
Oh, that's really nice. It's quite a full flavour. It's still really creamy, but it's got almost a bit of that like blue edge, I guess, with the mould.
Yeah.
That's quite special. I haven't had a cheese like that. Okay, this is pretty great. Keep them coming.
Then our next one we're going to try is our chèvre and dill, which is a soft fresh goat curd style with dill and garlic through it. It goes beautiful with smoked salmon. One of my favourite.
I bet. And that is again so creamy in the mouth. And that it's really nice and subtle, that dill, but it really brings out all the other flavours. Definitely another picnic favourite, I think. Dill cheese? Yes, please.
Then we're going to go on to our marinated goat feta.
As featured earlier on my breakfast. It's so creamy. Oh, it's just like, there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's not overwhelming. It's just like, it's so easy to eat. I feel like I could eat a tub of that probably in one sitting. That rounds out the goat's cheeses. Next animal, please.
So now we're on to the cow cheeses. And the first one I'm going to give you to try is our herb fromage. So this is a soft, fresh cow curd with herb and garlic through it. It's like peppercorns, fresh parsley, fresh chives.
Oh. The chives are a really nice touch.
That's one of my favourite.
Yeah, just good on like some really fresh sourdough bread.
Crusty bread.
Yeah.
And this is our marinated cow's feta. And we source the cow's milk from Singleton, so it's nice and local.
Yeah, it's quite soft and creamy again. It's really good.
Then we're going to go to labna. So labna is actually drained yogurt.
Oh, okay.
So we make the yogurt, cow's yogurt, and then we drain it, and then we make it into a consistency that we hand roll it.
And how would you serve this?
My favourite is actually a bruschetta. So because it's so zesty and tart sort of thing, it's great with tomato. Yeah, so you can sort of baste your sourdough bread with the oil and then butter it on and then add your tomato mix. It's
That's
beautiful.
really zesty. I love it.
And then we have a pesto version of that. So same labna.
I bet you could toss that through like a really fresh pasta dish.
Yeah.
Even? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, quick fire round.
Then we're going to try some brie.
Right. And have you been making brie here for a while?
I think probably for at least 10 years.
Oh, you know what you're doing. That tastes really good.
And then we've actually got a Christmas special, a truffle brie.
I love truffle.
So it's got a white truffle oil in it and it's a triple cream. So it's full of fat and full of flavour.
Wow, that's really good. It's quite rich, decadent, and the truffle notes come through at the end.
And last one we're going to try today is called duetto. It's a blend of mascarpone and gorgonzola.
Ooh, wow. That is really delicious. I think that would go good on a homemade pizza as well.
It goes well with fresh figs, prosciutto, or just pan-fried through gnocchi.
Gosh, I've got a really hard decision to make. What cheese am I going to choose for tonight? Maybe I'll just take them all. Cheese cravings sufficiently satisfied. So after the break, we pay a visit to cheese's best friend, bread.
Whilst filming the Cellar Door in the Hunter Valley, our crew chose to stay at Banjos Bushland Retreat. Escape to the tranquility of beautiful Banjos with 3 architect-designed lodges and private recreational facilities which are nestled within pristine bushland in the delightful Hunter Valley. Spacious, well-appointed lodges offer total privacy and stunning bushland views from every room. Perfect for couples, families and large groups. Book all 3 lodges at Banjos for the perfect group getaway. To book your stay at Banjos Bushland Retreat, visit banjosretreat.com.au.
Nestled against the Hunter River is the historic town of Moppa. Lined with boutique shops in heritage 19th century buildings, it's home to the bakehouse where the Arnotts biscuit dynasty began. In 1847, William Arnott, a baker from Scotland, arrived in Morpeth and began baking sourdough bread. Later in 1865, he moved into Newcastle and turned his trade into baking biscuits and cakes. Legend has it that William met a ship's providore who said, "I can sell as many biscuits as you can bake." William took up the challenge and never looked back. I think he'd be very happy to learn that his great-great-great-grandson, Stephen Arnott, now runs that original bakehouse. Bread certainly must run in the family. I'm chatting to Stephen and Ali next to the great oven itself to find out how Morpeth sourdough started.
Well, Moppa sourdough started about 20 years ago when we drove up to Morpeth from Sydney. It's only an hour and a half drive. We come up here and we had a look around, and so we thought, well, let's find the place. So we went from shop to shop to shop, and each shop said, yeah, it started here. So that was a bit tricky, wasn't it? And until we got to this building, and he said, well, yeah, everybody says that, and I go, yeah. He said, well, I'll prove it to you. So we came downstairs, and here's the oven.
Whoa, this is where it all started.
Yeah, it's where my great-great-great-grandfather started Arnott's Biscuits.
Yeah, so you have a personal connection with Arnott's.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
this is my oven.
This is your oven, really. You should have inherited it straight away.
We were leaving town, and Alison said, you know, this was in really bad repair, and she said, go back and ask him if he wants to sell the building. It's like, yeah, sure. Yeah. Anyway.
You said there's no for sale sign.
I did the bloke thing. There's no for sale sign. Anyway, somebody insisted. I said, yeah, I was just wondering if you were ever planning on selling the building. He said, funny you mention that, because I got an appointment with the real estate agent on Friday.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was meant to be.
It's destiny.
It's kind of calling out to you.
Yeah.
And from Arnott's biscuits to
Moppa
bread.
sourdough, yeah.
So, well, what's your relationship with baking bread?
Well, thanks to the Masters of Food Science and Microbiology,
Yeah.
we got it into sourdough.
Looking at how the bread industry has changed over the last 150 years, all bread back then was sourdough bread. Yeah. So it was all naturally leavened with all the health benefits that it does have. So we thought, perfect, we'll make one of the early products that William made.
Yeah. And we just thought we'd start a little bakery and have a little shop and sell to the locals. And then more and more people started to find out.
While most store breads are made from a multitude of ingredients and additives, true sourdough only has 3 ingredients: flour, water, and salt. The starter is simply flour and water mixed together and left to ferment.
What kept us inspired really with the business is keeping that old long fermentation process going.
And speaking of starters, how long has your original starter been going for?
Mine was started, as far as we know, in the 1960s.
Wow.
So it's 60 years old.
Okay, slightly older than my homemade lockdown starter.
And it's getting better all the time. In fact, the bread we're making this last year has probably been the best we've ever done.
Because people do say, well, why is the older culture better? And it's just a mysterious part of nature that works with the 2 main microorganisms in the sourdough culture that just makes them get better. They become more synergistic, so they help one another, and over time it improves, and I guess you can say it matures like a good bottle of bread. Yeah.
We're passionate about it because it's who we are. It's where I come from. It's in my blood. It's what we do, which is why I like teaching people. It's why I do classes.
So if you want to learn how to make sourdough, what better place to do it? While I'm here, Stephen's kindly offered a quick primer on all things sourdough.
And there's what's called a window test, so you get it like this.
Yeah.
We teach people this in the lesson. And you hold it up.
Stretch it out a little.
You stretch it out a little, and then you hold it up to the light like outside there.
Yep.
See that?
So you want it to be shining a little bit?
Well, it's not falling to pieces. It's stretchy, it's firm.
Yeah.
And this is how you tell whether your dough is nice and strong.
So if you held it up and it was all falling apart.
Keep mixing it. And a lot of the problems that people have in making sourdough is that they just don't mix it enough.
Okay.
They think that I can over-mix it.
Yeah.
But if you over-mix it, you're just going to make English muffins.
Yeah, so that's not such a bad problem
It's not such a bad
to have.
thing, yeah. You can have English muffins and bacon and eggs for brekkie. One of the key things, of course, is a culture.
Look at that.
And that's our Moppa sourdough culture.
I just say it smells so good. That yeasty smell, I like it.
Yeah, it's got that sort of...
Yeah.
You can smell a little bit of alcohol coming off it in a sense. But it's also, if you look at this, I fed this morning, and see. So it's not mixed to make a dough, so it hasn't been bonded together.
It's a lot of the polysaccharides that the lactobacillus are producing, and coupled with the acid makes for, that consistency is what you're looking for when your culture's ready to use. That is another area where people go wrong in making their sourdough, is not using the culture when it's at the top of the curve.
And people can buy their very own culture from you, so
Not a
they
big
know
bucket
that.
like this.
Not a big bucket. Don't need that much, but so they know that they'll have a right
Jar,
start.
that's all you need. But we teach them how to feed your culture, how to go on holidays with or without your culture. Of course, it's called mother for a reason, because you take it on holiday, you take it everywhere with you.
I never thought of that.
You've got to
but
feed
yes.
it. Some people think that they need to feed it every day.
Yeah.
We can teach you how to do it so that you only have to do it at a minimum amount of time. It's a minimum effort.
Talk about high maintenance.
The other thing we do is we teach people, of course, how to scale and shape their bread. So we'll just get a little bit of flour in there. We teach people how to weigh out the product. So it's around about a kilo. And we'll teach them how to shape it, how to make a loaf of bread. Which is fairly
there's
straightforward.
Definitely a right way and a wrong way to shape. Or
Not really. Dough's fairly forgiving. I think people, if you don't get it right the first time, so that'll make a casalinga. So it might look pointy there, but when it bakes, it rises up and the ends blunt off, and you get this nice panna de casa, or what we call casalinga.
yeah, this looks tasty.
So we
So
teach people how to do shaping, and we teach them all sorts of bits about how to make things like buns.
yeah,
Just around like that, and you get a bun.
you made that look very easy.
20 years. A couple 100,000 buns too.
Yeah, a couple of
You can buy a
them.
machine to do that.
Yeah,
But we don't. We do everything by hand.
yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Everything's got an individual touch.
Authentic, like my great-great-grandfather used to do.
Yeah, that's what he'd be proud of in here.
I hope so. It's there somewhere.
Somewhere.
So here's your little bit of Moppa sourdough to take home and bake.
My very own. It's a piece of history and it's going to be delicious as well.
Yep. And you could say you made it.
Yeah, I did most of it, right?
baked it.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to get this in the oven, and thank you so much for showing me around and sharing your passion for bread.
As the French say, what is life without bread?
Exactly. Sad.
Mm.
This little guy will do nicely. I've got the sourdough, I've got the cheese, so it's time to head up to my bush retreat and enjoy my spoils. What a fun and different day I had today, seeing the other side of what the Hunter Valley can offer, and I can't wait to discover more. So I'll see you next time on the Cellar Door Australia.